What's up, guys? Nifty the Ninja here, bringing you an updated build, the Ninja. I have changed how I play this build, and I will go into what has changed and why. I also realized in my last video I didn't go into champion points, so I will show you guys how I've set up my CP. I am at 316 champion points right now, getting closer to the CP cap, which is 501. Pretty decent stats with drinks, not food. I have other food that I'll go into a bit later. Now, as for gear, all of my gear has stayed exactly the same from the last one. 5 hundings, 3 agility and 3 night mothers. Only difference is instead of having a bow as on my second bar, I have a second set of dual wield. I call this the true ninja. Now, the reason I've decided to run a dual wield build is, well, mainly because I wanted to do something different, as you don't see anyone except maybe tanks running the same weapon on both bars. So I thought I'd try something different, see how it goes, and it's actually working out pretty well, to be fair. I kill people pretty quickly, almost as quick as my bow. Maybe a little bit quicker with the bow, but I like a bit of a challenge. So you know. As now for skills, if you look at the front bar, the front bars stayed the same. So we got on X we got Camo Hunter for my extra damage from stealth. On Y we've got Vigor, which is my heal, and then on B we've got Mass Hysteria. This is like my crowd control skill. Really handy if I'm being attacked by a lot of people. I just hit this and they just run away for 4.5 seconds. Left bumper we've got Surprise Attack, which is my spammable ability. I light attack weave with this all the time. And then I've got Ambush, which is my gap closer. And immobilizing them, also increasing my damage of my next attack by 20%, which is really handy. I'll go into a couple of combos a little bit later. And then on my second bar I've got Double Take, which gives me dodge chance and movement speed, which also was really handy. And then on Y we've got heal again. I usually try and run a heal on both bars, because just in case I get caught out on the wrong bar. B, I've got Dark Cloak, which is my escape skill, or a build up to a combo maybe. And then left bumper Piercing Mark. This is mainly for other Nightblades, other Nightblades who can cloak. It just stops them being able to cloak, basically. Really handy skill to have for PvP. And then where I normally put focused aim for my bow, I've got Flying Blade. Now it doesn't hit as hard as focused aim, but it's more of a challenge, I think. Like I said earlier, I'll go into a couple of combos a little bit later that I use, that I find very effective. And then ultimate on the front bar is still Soul Harvest, and the ultimate on the back bar can actually be whatever ultimate you want. Could be Ice Comet, could be Barrier, could be Dawnbreaker, if you're a vampire, Devouring Swarm, Soul Assault. It could be anything. Whatever you want to put here is up to you. I'm using Devouring Swarm at the moment, but that was just because I had a couple of people in my group last night who were using it, so we were using it to take down groups of enemies. Anyway, that's the changes in the skills. Now I'll show you how I set my CP. We'll start with the warrior. I've got none in there, none in there, and then in here we've got 100 points into elemental defender and 60 into hardy. Now I'm a vampire, so, and I'm only really using the vampire for the sneak speed. I mean, obviously I've got devouring swarm on the as the ultimate as well, but I only really use the vampirism, being a vampire, for the sneak speed that you get. Otherwise I would split this out a bit more between these two, maybe 53 in each, but I'm vampire, so I put 100 points into there to completely nullify the extra 25% flame damage. Basically, on to the thief. I got 50 into warlord to reduce the cost of my abilities, my stamina abilities anyway, and then I've got 15 into magician to help me, because I'm running a low stamina pool, and not stamina, magicka pool. Having that extra reduced cost is really useful. It just lets me cloak that one time extra, and that one time extra can save my life. Anyway, I have 30 into mooncalf to help with stamina recovery, and then I've got 10 into tumbling, which helps with, you know, break free and dodge roll and stuff. So that's always handy. And then onto the mage, none in there, none in there, and then I've got 70 into mighty to increase my physical damage by near enough 20%, 10 into piercing, which ignores 5%, my attacks ignore 5% of their armor basically. Precise strikes, which gives me more damage by crits. As you can see from my character sheet, I have, like, I think it's 80% crit, so that dealing more damage comes in handy. And then I've also got 15 points into thaumaturge, which helps increase the damage dealt by things like relentless focus, soul harvest, camo hunter, anything that deals magic damage, or, you know, things like poison injection, lethal arrow, that sort of stuff. Anything like that would spec from, like, would scale from thaumaturge. So the more points you have into thaumaturge, the harder those abilities will hit. Anyway, that's the champion points done and dusted. Now I'll go on to the food that I use. I have 3 types. Yeah, 3 types. I don't have one right now. I could probably get some, but it would take hassle. So as for food, I've got Tristat, which gives me more stats. I'm at about 30k stam, 26k, 25k health, 13k magicka. That'll help with that. I also started using this, which helps increase my magicka and stamina recovery. Means I can use cloak more often and my stamina recharges faster. The only problem with that is I have a small health pool, so I've only got like 19k health in PvP. So I just have to be careful with what fights I get into and whatnot. Or I have another one, which is a recipe that came out with Orsinium, which gives me 5,000 health and 500 stamina recovery. This is also another good one to use. Since I don't really use that many magic abilities, it's not that much of a problem. I mean, obviously I've got cloak, double take, stuff like that, but I only really use them to escape. I don't really use them for anything else. Oh, excuse me. Next on to potions. I don't have any of one of the potions either, but one of the main ones that I use, not that one, is this. which makes me invisible for pretty much 16 seconds and gives me movement speed for nearly 48 seconds. So that's really, really good. The other one I use is this one, which gives me more weapon damage, more crit, and more stamina. The same amount of time. The other potion that I use, but I've used them all, I need to get some more, is called Essence of Speed, and what it does is it gives you movement speed, more weapon damage, and stamina at the same time. So that's a really handy potion to have. It's got me out of a couple of tricky situations. Along with this one. This one's got me out of a couple of tricky situations as well. Right, now onto combos. Now, my opener, obviously I'm pretty much always in sneak, because obviously I'm sneaky. I'm a Nightblade. Nightblades are meant to be sneaky, so I'll be in sneak. I'll hit Camo Hunter. I'll bar swap, then I'll hit him with Flying Blade, and then I throw Flying Blade, mark him straight after, so it gives him no chance to react. And then I'll bar swap, ambush, surprise attack, soul harvest. And if they're not dead after this combo, I normally just go into light attack, surprise attack, weave. You know, if they start pressuring me, I'll hit mass hysteria, need healing, heal, blah blah blah. If they're a vampire, I'll activate Camo Hunter again. But if they're a vampire, they're usually dead before they hit the floor anyway, so doesn't matter. That's basically my opening combo. Obviously I use others, and a good thing about having this is it gives you major brutality for 10 seconds, so it just increases your damage for 10 seconds. So you hit him with that, then you ambush in, surprise attack, soul harvest, and obviously ambush gives you empower, surprise attack hits like a truck anyway, and then soul harvest gives them a healing debuff and increases my damage against them by 20%. So that's really what I generally do is ambush, soul harvest, surprise attack. Sorry, not surprise attack, soul harvest. Because because you get the empower bonus from ambush. So what I do is ambush, soul harvest. So the soul harvest hits harder, and then obviously that gives me more damage against them as well, and reduces their healing. So then I'll hit them with surprise attack, and then it will only need like one, maybe two light attack, surprise attacks to finish them off, which is pretty good. Anyway, that brings an end to this video. Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this video, or if you have any feedback, let me know in the comments, and hit that subscribe button. See you guys in the next video. Nifty out. Peace.